busy as a bee, right? I went to a yard sale the other day because I wanted to be busy like a bee, right? And there was a bucket full of toys, like there always is, right? There's always these plastic toys that end up in yard sales, bought in China, sent all the way over to Toys R Us, and then thrown away because they're no longer exciting. But you know what? I like to take trash and turn it into treasure. And might as well add a little bit of something to the landscape, right? Possibilities on the way things used to be. I mean, I've never seen a dinosaur that looks like that, right? Doesn't mean they can't exist, because just because I don't have a shark in my cup of water doesn't mean that sharks don't exist, right? And then there's other ones that even, I think this makes noise, or it did until it was. Right, that's pretty scary. Pretty exciting though, a little bit. Let's not put it all in the water. Let's have him hang out up here. It's just too hard to do one-handed. Anyway, right? So it just adds a little something. And when people come here, they say it's kind of like a museum, because it's like there's always something to look at. Like why are there two forks in a jade plant, right? And why is that jade plant outside in the sun? It likes more of a shaded area, so that's where it's gonna live for the next few days, is over here, right? Because that would be better for it. But yeah, so like, that was probably at a yard sale. Now it's hanging from the tree, right? And a friend, she brought that from her house when she stayed here for a while, and then she left, and it didn't. This whole tree right here, the thing that's making these apricots, that was free. That was a free tree, because it was a seed that I got from an apricot, right? Because that's how that happens. And I ate some strawberries from that yesterday. That was good, right? Oh, that's what you call an bucket. An bucket, right? That's a fancy term for don't drink that water. That is all the weeds and stuff that I've picked and I've shoved into the bucket, and then you put water in it, and then it starts to digest. And as it digests, it turns into free fertilizer. So, anyway, yeah. But where I guess I was going with that on the yard sale is it was really good. The parents were allowing the kids to set their prices and do the bartering, right? Or the bargaining, or whatever, right? Whatever you consider it as. So the little guy, he looked at all these toys, and he kind of, he was pondering a number for a little bit, and he says, how about $5? And I said, I kind of looked at him a little bit, and I said, I don't think that's a fair price. And he's looking at me like, what are you, some sort of cheapskate? And he didn't say nothing. He was kind, but he's looking at me like, dude, these things are worth way more than that. They cost a lot more than that at Toys R Us. And then I said, oh, how about we do $9 instead? And then he kind of looked at me again weird, and he's like, "Do you know what math is?" Because that's less fair if you don't think this is fair. And anyway, it wasn't that it wasn't fair for me, it wasn't fair for him, right? I'm interested in my relationships with other people where they feel they were treated fairly, um, like I want to be treated, right? I mean, because that's that golden rule. And if we don't practice it in our life, how are we going to have any expectation of it returning to us if that's not what we're doing for others? So anyway, when I stopped focusing so much on myself and making sure that I am the winner all the time, life got better because people felt respected instead of um, instead of not being respected, right? That instead of not being respected, and people seem to like to work with you better, and it builds it builds builds the karma the way you want your life when you treat others the way you want to be treated.